Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So yesterday, yeah. So we are always hankering after, hankering and lust. So we are always having that intense desire. We want to have all the possessions. So actually we are pure souls. In essence, we are pure souls. But circumstantially, we have fallen into this material world now, right? So we are under this threefold miseries of material existence. And the whole of Bhagavad Gita, what is it telling us? It is telling us how to get out of this entanglement, how to be situated in the real spiritual life of bliss, knowledge, and eternal life, right? Now we can also imagine, suppose you're being called, okay, you are said, okay, come fight with your enemies, you are ready. But if somebody says no, you fight with your son, you fight with your daughters, or you fight with your wife or your friends, you will hesitate, right? That's very natural. Same thing was happening with Arjuna also. He was placed in such a position where he's thinking, I have to fight my own relatives. He was confused now. He was perplexed. And Krishna said, no, when the question of fighting is there, it doesn't matter who is on the opposite side. You are a Kshatriya, you are a fighting man. It is your duty to fight. You should not hesitate. So Arjuna is still not getting completely, he's not completely satisfied with this argument. After chapter 1, he declined to fight. He put down his Gandiva. Then later in chapter 2, by the time 2.7 came, he surrendered to Krishna and said, Krishna, till now we have been talking like friends. Now I'm very serious about learning from you. Because why did he say that? Because Arjun perfectly he knew that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. So whatever Krishna will tell me, that will be perfect, because he is perfect man, he will give me perfect solution. So yes, today we will begin with, I just did a small recap of what we have done till now. And today we'll be doing Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga is called Yoga of Knowledge. Jnana means knowledge. So Yoga of Knowledge. And what is the fundamental goal of Jnana Yoga is, we want to become liberated. We want to get free from this Maya. We want to get away from this Maya. So in this, we will be covering 4 points. History of Bhagavad Gita. Why did Krishna choose Arjuna to deliver the science of Bhagavad Gita? When, why, how does Krishna appear? And 4 divisions of the human society. And the topmost sacrifice, right? Krishna is going to remove all the misconceptions in this. He will try to, at least. Let's see what happens. Okay, good. What is the name of the chapter? Chapter 4.
B, option B.
Oh, Muskan Mataji, huh? She is very active today. Very good. Okay, Yoga of Knowledge. Very nice. Okay, so let's see. What is this? Bhagavad Gita as it is. Why are we giving so much stress on Bhagavad Gita? It is because, anybody, why we are giving so much stress on Bhagavad Gita? Okay, because it is spoken by a personality who is perfect, who is above all imperfections, right? So what are the imperfections that we have? There are some imperfections, right? We commit mistakes. Sorry, I changed the slide. So what are the imperfections? We commit mistakes. There is nobody in the world who will say, oh, I have never ever committed any mistake in my life. We all living entities make mistakes. Then we have this problem of illusion, right? That is the next imperfection that we have. We have to accept that, right? Sometimes we see something and we think that it is something else, right? Just like we are accepting that this body is myself. Actually, we are not. We are the soul. So this is illusion. Like, okay, just like in darkness, if I am going in dark and there is some curling rope lying down on the ground and I become afraid, oh my God, I will think it's a snake. But actually, it's not a snake. It's just an illusion, right? Just an example of illusion. Now, cheating propensity. We have this cheating propensity. Third imperfection. We all think we are very clever and we can cheat others. Everyone thinks, oh, I'm so clever, I can cheat him. For example, let's take the case of a shopkeeper. the customer. Shopkeeper is thinking, oh, I'm giving him nonsense things and making profit. While the customer is thinking, oh, I'm getting it for so cheap. I've bargained very well. But nothing like that. We're cheating each other. So this is going on even in, ordinary day-to-day dealings. And then we have, of course, imperfect senses. Our senses are blunt, completely blunt. So we can only see under certain conditions. I will put off the light, we cannot see anything. So Srila Prabhupada very nicely explains in his purport, that Krishna explained to Arjuna that the most formidable enemy that is sitting inside us is lust. And we know what three places, right? Mind, intelligence, and senses. So we have to deal very tactfully with this lust. We have to be very clever with this lust. How to replace that enemy lust? How? We have to replace it with Krishna consciousness. How? For example, let's say I have kept a glass of water to drink here. So I have a glass of water over here, for example, right? If I have a glass of water over here and I want to fill this glass with milk, what do? This is a glass of water I have, but I want to fill it with milk. What can I do? Anyone?
Empty the glass first, then refill with milk.
Exactly. Well done. Well said, Prabhuji. So I want to fill it up with milk, then I have to throw the water and take milk, right? Similarly, if your mind is occupied by lust of enjoying this material world, you have to replace Krishna on your mind. Just empty that and fill Krishna into your mind. And then you will find that the enemy which was occupying this most strategic position of the mind, dominating your mind, it will be defeated. That's the secret. So let's see. Okay. History of Bhagavad Gita. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha imam vivasvate yogam proktavanaham avyayam vivasvan manave praha manurikshvakave praveet. Yes, Muskan.
The blessed Lord said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivasna, and the Vivasna instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turns instructed it to
Ishvaku.
Ishvaku.
So thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So Krishna says here, long time. First time, who did he tell? He told this Bhagavad Gita, this science of yoga, to Vivaswan. Now, it was first spoken by Krishna to Vivaswan some 120 million years ago. Now, the question comes, who is Vivaswan? Vivaswan is the name of sun god, Surya Devta. It's the name. Every god has a name. So this sun god, and it changes, Indra doesn't remain Indra for long. That Indra is a position. Whoever, if I have done pious credits, I can take the place of Indra also. If you have done pious credit, you can become sun god. So sun god also, the position, these are positions. Like you have positions in a factory, but that position is there. The people keep changing. Similarly, Vivaswan is the sun god here. It's the name of Vivaswan, the sun god. Then he says, first time, Vivaswan Manave Praha. Then he again repeated to the father of mankind, Manu. And then now it is Vaivasta Manu. And this Manu, what did he do? Vivaswan Manave Praha Manurikshva Kavevari. So Manu told Ishvaku, King Ishvaku. He told his disciple's name was Ishvaku. And Maharaj Ishvaku was a great king. He was the forefather of Sri Ramchandra, that dynasty. So you can imagine, right, how old Bhagavad Gita is. So let's see what Krishna says next. Oh, okay, we have a question. Krishna first imparted this science of Bhagavad Gita to, first time, who did he tell?
Option B.
Vivasvan Mataji.
Sorry?
Vivasvan.
Vivasvan. Very good. Excellent. You're all attentive, that means. Who imparted transcendental knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to Ishvaku?
Manu.
Manu, very good. Very nice. And let's see. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarchayo viduhu sakale neha mahata yogo nakshta parantapa. Yes, Kiran Prabhuji.
The supreme science was the supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that the way. But in the course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost.
Lost. So Krishna is saying the instruction I had given, I told the sun god, I imparted. So it was coming by disciplic succession. It was coming from one to another, like that. It was coming down. Sun god Vivaswan told Manu, Manu told his disciple Ishwaku, and it was going on like that, king to king. But now it is lost. Now we have to note down this point. It is lost. Srila Prabhupada very nicely explains and I told in one of his lectures also, why is it lost? So do you think that there was no learned person during that time? There were many, many learned persons, learned sages, not only 1, 2, 3, so many dozens of learned sages. But still Lord Krishna said that knowledge was, which I gave, imparted to sun god was lost. What does it mean? How is it lost? Lost means here the purport, the explanation of the Bhagavad Gita. The shlokas have ever been there, but the meaning, the interpretation, the purports of the detailed explanation was lost somewhere in between. Why? Because scholars, they can interpret in their own way. They can use their own imagination and write the way they want to about Bhagavad Gita. But that is not Bhagavad Gita, right? Bhagavad Gita is the purport that Krishna wants to stress upon, what Krishna wants to tell. So any student of Bhagavad Gita must note that Bhagavad Gita has to be accepted in disciplic succession. So as Lord Krishna says to Arjuna that it is coming down by disciplic succession. So this is the disciplic succession, Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya, Sampradaya. So we must follow the footsteps of those who are pure souls. Arjuna is advised to be in Krishna consciousness by following the Lord's previous disciples, such as like sun god Vivaswan, right? So he also says like evam gyatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhi. He says that you have to understand that unless you are a devotee of Lord Krishna, it is not possible to understand Bhagavad Gita. You can open Bhagavad Gita and read n number of times. It will not go inside. You have to be a devotee of Krishna. Otherwise, no one can understand Bhagavad Gita. So that is the first qualification, that we have to be a disciple of Krishna. We have to be a surrender, and with simplicity, we should try and understand Bhagavad Gita. So this is the parampara. Lord Brahma, from there Madhvacharya came. So the shloka goes like this: Ramanujam Sri Chakre Madhvacharyam Chaturmukham Sri Vishnu Swaminam Rudro Nimb Adityam Chatusnahasana. So that is Madhvacharya was chosen by Brahma. Ramanujacharya was chosen by goddess Lakshmi to represent her sampradaya. Vishnu Swami was chosen by Rudra. Nimbaditya was chosen by the 4 Kumaras. So we are Brahma. So I just showed you here that we are Brahma, Madhvacharya, Gaudiya, Sampradaya. So this one is what they are following, but it is a Sampradaya. It is following proper disciplic succession. It has come from Lord Brahma to Madhvacharya to Gaudiya and going on. Sri Lakshmi, this one is Ramanujacharya. Lord Shiva's Vishnu Swami and 4 Kumaras is Nimbaditya. These Lord Shivas and the 4 Kumaras is not that prevalent, I think, nowadays. I'm not very sure. But when Lord Krishna has made such elaborate education system, then definitely it is our duty, right, to search for an affiliated university, like a parampara, and then find the right teacher so that we understand Bhagavad Gita as it is. Okay. So the process of receiving transcendental knowledge is to ask your neighbor, go to anyone who claims to know, to understand it through disciplic succession or by mental speculation.
Option C.
Sorry?
2.1 into 10 power
C.
by M square.
C, yes.
R is equal to 0.
Okay. Who was the first recipient of transcendental knowledge from Krishna?
Sun god.
Sun God. Very good. Muskan is gaining all the points. Come on, others. Okay, but how? You are my contemporary. Aparam bhavato janma param janma vivasvataha katame tatvijaniyam tvamado proktavaniti. Yes, Pankaj.
Arjuna said, the sun god Vaishnav is the senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that the beginning you instructed this scene to him?
So, sun god Vivaswan. Arjuna is saying sun god Vivaswan is senior by birth, right? We both are of same age. We are you are my contemporary. How can I understand that? We are like friends. You are saying you told sun god. How can that be possible? He is little bit, because this actually Arjuna is not inquiring for himself, but for people like us, right? He is above all those misunderstandings. So now what does Krishna say? Let's see. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Bahuni Me Vyatitani Janmani Tava Charjuna Tanyam Veda Sarvani Natvam Veta Parantapa. Yes, Akansha.
So Krishna says, many births, both of you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot. O Arjuna, subduer of the enemy.
Thank you, Prabhu. So now what does he say? He says, many births, both you and I have passed. I remember everything, Arjuna, you cannot. So many, what does Brahma say? In Brahma Samhita, there is Brahma Samhita where Brahma is, glorifying Lord Krishna. So he says, Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhaktau Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So it means, can anyone please, Pankaj Prabhuji, read that? It means?
It means I worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead Govinda, Krishna, who is the original person, absolute, infallible, without beginning. Although expanded into ultimate forms, he is still the same original, the oldest, and the person always appearing as fresh youth.
He always appears as fresh youth. You can always see, have you ever seen a picture of any old Krishna? He is always looking fresh, right? So devotees like Arjuna, they are constant companions of Krishna. Whenever Lord incarnates, this whole team comes down. There is associates, but it is only that the Lord remembers everything. Arjuna is one of those devotees, right? In order to serve the Lord, they come in different capacities in this world. So in this verse, it is understood that some millions of years ago, Lord had spoken Bhagavad Gita to sun god Vivaswan. Arjuna also in different capacity, he was there. He was present. But the difference between the Lord and Arjuna is that Lord remembered the incident because he does not change. He is Sat Chit Anand body. He is Advaita, right? Completely. It means there is no distinction between his body and himself. And whereas Arjuna cannot remember, that is the difference between part and parcel living entity and Supreme Lord. So although, Arjuna has been addressed here as Parantapa, that Parantapa means subduer of enemy, right? But he is still unable to recall what had happened in the various past births. Okay. Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha. It is related to which Samhita?
Brahm Samhita.
Brahma Samhita. Muskan is gaining all the points. Come on. Muskan Mataji. Okay. Why? I think I told the answer, I guess. Why did Krishna decide to reveal transcendental knowledge to Arjuna? Srinidhi Mataji, see. Because Arjuna was a devotee and a friend. Very nice. Okay. What is the difference between Krishna and Arjuna? The difference between Krishna and Arjuna is that yeah. Good. Okay. Now let's see the life of Brahma quickly.
Mataji, Hare Krishna. Isn't it option B, actually?
Krishna is Supreme Lord and Arjuna is part and parcel. We are all part and parcel, but Krishna can remember all the incidents, right? That's what we came to understand. Arjuna is also quite an elevated soul.
Why electron cannot exist in the point and work accidentally?
Okay, we are moving on to life of Brahma. So this will be shared with you in WhatsApp groups also, so you can see in detail also if you want to. So life of Brahma is 100 years, right? So we have 4 yugas, right? Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga, right? So these many years we have. These 4 yugas together is called Divya Yuga. And there's such 71 Divya Yugas becomes one Manvantara. And then 14 Manvantras plus 15 Sandhyas become one Kalpa, a day of Brahma. And this many trillion years, 311.04 trillion years or 36,000 Kalpas becomes the days of Brahma and equal number of nights. That is the life of Brahma. That long Brahma lives. So we can imagine. So life of Brahma, 50 years have already passed, 50 more years left. 6 Manvantras are over, 27 cycles of 4 yugas are over, Satya, Treta, Dwapar is over, time elapsed in Kali Yuga, 5,117 years over, and life of Brahma is 155.522 trillion years. That's the life of Brahma. Life of Manu, 27 cycles of 4 yugas are over. The life of Manu is accepting that before the birth of Manu, Gita was spoken to the Lord, by the Lord to his disciple, sun god Vivaswan. So Gita was spoken 120 million years ago to the sun god. That long. And then we can see when did Gita come on the earth? It came about 2 million years ago. You can imagine how old Bhagavad Gita is. So it is really fortunate that we are all sitting together and trying to understand Bhagavad Gita. So 1 day of Brahma is this many years, 1 hour of Brahma, then you can see the 1 minute of Brahma, and then 1 second of Brahma is this many years, material years. And these all these figures will be shared with you, so you can see in WhatsApp. So now let's move on. How does Krishna appear? Ajopi sannavyayatma bhutanam ishwaropi san prakritim swamadhisthaya sambhavamyatma mayaya. Yes, Akanksha Mataji.
Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all sentient beings, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form.
Yeah. So what is Krishna trying to say here? How does Krishna appear? Krishna never ages beyond youth. Even at the battle of Kurukshetra also, he had so many grandchildren that time. He was actually, if you see by material calculation, yes, he had sufficiently age, but still he looked like a man of, like, say, 25 years old. So Brahma said, right, Advaitam Achyutam Anadi Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam cha. He always looked. Brahma in his Brahma Samhita has been glorifying Lord Krishna. We never see a picture of Krishna being old, right? Because he never grows old like us. Even though he's the oldest person in the whole creation, he knows the past, present, future. Who are these two in the picture? Who can tell what is going on?
Devaki Vasudeva Mata.
Yes, Prabhuji. And what is happening? Any idea?
The Lord first appeared as in 400 form, and after the stuti by Vasudeva and Devaki, he became 200. He changed to 200 form.
Very nice, Mataji. Thank you so much. He appeared as a Narayana 400 form. He showed his form, and then he became a baby and became their child. You can see a small baby Krishna also there, right? So Lord in Chaturbhuja Roop, he showed his Chaturbhuja Roop to Devaki and Vasudeva. Okay, let's see. When does the Lord appear? Why does the Lord appear, and what happens by gaining this knowledge? Who can tell me when does the Lord appear? Just if you know any idea, you can put it in chat box, or you can, tell me unmute yourself or tell me if you have any idea. When does he come?
When the sin increases and
Mhm.
when he wants to protect his devotees.
Very nice. Why does Lord appear?
To protect his devotees.
What happens by gaining this knowledge?
We become pure.
Yes, Mother. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So
Hare
yes,
Krishna.
let's see. This is quite a famous shloka. Everybody should be knowing it. If you want, you can unmute yourself and read this. Yada yada hi dharmasya glane bhavati bharata abhyutthanam dharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Yes, Kusumlata Mataji.
Whenever and wherever there is a decline in the religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and predominant rise in the irreligion, at that time, I descend myself.
So when does he appear? He appears by his own will.
Yes.
Whenever he thinks that it is the time to come, he can come. Whenever there is a lot of irreligiosity and there is the disappearance of religion, if he thinks that, okay, my interference is necessary, he will come. It is completely upon his will. What is the whole purpose of these mission of incarnations? It is just to
protect dharma.
arouse in us the Krishna consciousness and in everywhere also. So what do you see in the picture? What is happening?
Kamsa is killing Mataji. Kamsa is killing her sister Devaki.
Your voice is very feeble, Prabhuji. It's coming very soft. Yeah, but I could hear you saying Kamsa. Yes, it is true. Kamsa, after Devaki and Vasudev got married, Kamsa really loved his sister so much that he said, I will drive you to the palace. And as a brother, he took over. He was sitting in the chariot when he heard the Akashvani saying that, you know, the eighth child of your sister is the one who's going to kill you. So immediately he was having some tamoguna. So he immediately got down and he wanted to kill his sister. And Vasudev is stopping him and saying that, don't do that. That's not right on your part to do that. So it's the child that you are afraid of. So when I will come and personally hand over the baby as soon as it is born. So don't kill your sister. So that's how the tamasic guna comes. And when such things happen, Lord himself wants to come. Not more for tamoguni, but more for his own pure devotees. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bharata abhyutthanam dharmasya.
Tadatmanam srijamyam.
Yes, correct. Okay. At what time does Krishna appear?
When there is a decline in religion, Mataji. B.
Both A and B. Prominent rise in a religion, decline in religion. Both are right. Okay, this is also quite a popular shloka. You all can unmute and read if you want to. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So why does Krishna appear? Yes, Muskan Mataji, do you want to read? Anybody else wants to read? You can raise your hand and then yes, Srinidhi Mataji.
परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. In order to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I advent myself millennium after millennium.
Yeah. So here actually Lord has many agents. He doesn't have to come himself to vanquish these demons, right? But he comes down for his unalloyed devotees. He comes for his devotees, not for the demons. For demons, he has a full team. He can send anyone and they can come and do the job. But he comes for his unalloyed devotees. He likes to do that. He wants to be with his devotees. He can do anything for the devotees, right? These devotees, when they are harassed by the demons, he doesn't like it at all. Nobody can do anything to his devotees. That's why if we become Krishna's devotees, we are safe because Krishna will look after us. So any example that you can think of that devotee has been protected by God?
Prahlad.
Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad Maharaj.
Excellent, excellent. Although Prahlad Maharaj was the son of Hiranyakashipu, he was mistreated by his father, right? And Devaki, mother of Krishna, she was mistreated by Kamsa, ill-treated by him, right? Even Vasudeva was ill-treated. So Lord Krishna came for Devaki also, right? Rather than
Draupadi.
killing Kamsa, he came mainly for Devaki. But of course, he said, okay, again, so let me do both the things together. Let me kill him also and for my devotee also. So that is why it is written over here, in order to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants. Lord appears in different incarnations. So what is the benefit of knowing Krishna? So let's see. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatpatah tyakva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna. Yes, nobody raised their hand. Pankaj Prabhuji, Muskan Mataji. Anybody wants to read, just raise your hand so that I can ask you to. Then Lakshmi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal adore. O Arjuna.
Yeah, so Krishna, what is he saying? The moment you come to know about me, you will not enter another mother's womb. That what does it mean? We will break the cycle of birth and death. You will never ever have to sit in a womb forever. You will go to Golok Dham the moment you know about me. So the one who understands the truth of the appearance of Krishna is already liberated from cycle of birth and death. He returns to Golok immediately after quitting the present material body. But such liberation of this kind of living entity from this material bondage, it's not all that easy. Even the yogis, they keep taking life after life, many births, and after a lot of births, they merge into Brahmajyoti, which is the partial effulgence of Lord. It's partial. Lord is in three, right? Brahman, Paramatma form, and Bhagavan. So Brahmajyoti is the first one. Like sunshine. Sunshine is coming into the window, does not mean sun has come inside the window. So there is still a risk of returning back to material world. But the devotee who is fully into Krishna consciousness, he attains Lord's abode, and after ending the body. And then he does not have the risk of coming back into this material world. So what is the benefit of knowing Krishna is like Indriya Artheshu Vairagyam Anahankara Evacha Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. So you will be free from Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. So there is no birth, no dukkha, no disease, no vyadhi, nothing. You are completely away from this old age, sickness, birth, death. Everything will be beautiful over there. You don't even have to bother about, oh, where will my people go away? I will die. Then what will happen to my nothing to worry about. That's what. You will just be very happy, do seva to Bhagwan, and that's it. So what is the difference between Krishna and we, all mortal beings? Anyone has any idea? Quickly, if you can tell me, then otherwise. Yes, Srinidhi.
Atma and Paramatma, Mataji.
Yes, and Atma, Paramatma, Krishna and us. What is the difference between Krishna and our body?
He remembers all his past lives, but we doesn't.
Yes, he remembers all his pastimes. Then what else? How about his?
He's transcendental.
Yes, he's transcendental.
And we are materialistic.
We are material body, yeah, gross body. Yes, Krishna's body is transcendental. Our bodies are perishable. The moment we die, they will, burn it. Then Krishna's form is spiritual, ours is temporary. We are controlled by Maya. Krishna controls the Maya. Krishna is above Maya. You can see in the picture. We are controlled by, Maya. You can see that, in beneath the men are there and Maya Devi is there and Krishna is above Maya Devi. We can see that over there. So like Brahma Samhita, again Lord Brahma quoted, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadirade Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. Because he is everything, Satchit Ananda. Just because something is invisible does not mean it doesn't exist, right? We cannot see air. But does it exist or not? It is existing, but you cannot see it. Similarly, Krishna is there, but we do not have those eyes because the subtle mind of mind, intelligence, and ego is also invisible. We cannot see our mind, we cannot see our ego, but it is there, right? But we need that kind of vision to see Krishna. So we have two kinds of body, a gross body, which is made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether, and we have a subtle body, which is mind, intelligence, and ego. We can see our body, which is made up of earth, water, and so on, right? But we cannot see the subtle body. Can you see your intelligence? No. But everyone knows you have a mind. I have a mind, but I cannot see the mind. It is there. So you accept that the subtle body is there, right? You accept that subtle body exists, even though you cannot see it. So similarly, the soul also exists, even though you cannot see it. But because soul is covered by this gross body. And what is death? Death is just the gone of this whole body goes. That's it. That's the death. Subtle body remains and it carries the soul to a place where he can get into another body, right? So God is always young, same, permanent. We are temporary. He is spiritual. We are always changing our form. His form and his name, he, both are same. Nothing is different. Our body is different from our soul. He is controlling the three modes of material nature. We are controlled by three modes of material nature. Right now we are studying Bhagavad Gita, so we are like in Sattvic Guna. Like we are like puppets in the hands of three gunas. Right? So let's see. Why did Krishna appear? What are the three reasons for the appearance of Krishna? Quickly. Anybody remembers?
To destroy the evil and to
protect his devotees and to reestablish the principle of religion.
Dharma.
Yes.
To protect dharma.
Protect dharma. Very nice. Although Krishna mentions three reasons for his descent, which among them is the most important reason? To annihilate the miscreants, to establish the principles of religion, to deliver the pious, to keep us entertained during lockdown. Which is the most important?
Principles of religion.
He comes to deliver the pious because he comes only for his devotees. To annihilate, he can send his team. He can do everything, but for his devotees, he is ever ready to come. Has anybody in history able to know Krishna? Who will read, please? Rupa Mataji.
Being freed from attachment, fear, and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me, many persons in the past became purified by the knowledge of me, and thus they all attained transcendental love for me.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Very Hare Krishna. It's very difficult for a person who is very much materially affected to understand the personal nature of Supreme Absolute Truth, right? Krishna says in chapter 7, Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate Vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma su durlabhaha. Very difficult. After many births and deaths, after so much of knowledge, if somebody surrenders, knowing me to be the cause of all causes, that soul, that great soul is very rare, very rare. After so many births and deaths, he comes to know that, okay, it's me, and then he surrenders. We are so materially attached, that's why we are not giving attention to our spiritual life. Somebody wants to merge into we have different theories. Some wants to merge into supreme spiritual cause. Some of them do not believe in anything. We are completely, having speculation out of hopelessness. But if we come to that prema stage, start loving God, and we are constantly engaged in transcendental love towards God, then slowly with the process of devotional service, what happens? If under of course, the guidance of spiritual guru, we can attain the highest stage, right? Mad bhavam agataha means what? This human life we have, it is meant to go back to Krishna. We cannot do that if we get the beast form. We cannot do that if we get the tree form. We have got this very precious life. It is to go back home. For example, if I'm traveling all around the world, for example, but my home is India. But I'm going to so many countries. I'm going to Europe, I'm going to America, but my home is India. Similarly, we are all part and parcel of God. We have to go back to our home. That's our point, right? If we understand that, Krishna, what does he say? He says, Mame Vamsho Jiva Loke. All you are my Ansha. You are my part and parcel. Please, if somebody understands that this is not my home, I'm wandering in these foreign countries. This is a foreign country. That is knowledge. That is Jnana Yoga. That is chapter 4, Jnana Yoga. And those who do not get this Jnana, they think that this is their permanent home. This is their body. They have come to live here permanently. And to get free from these 3 stages of material concept of life, like attachment, fear, anger, what do we have to do? We have to take shelter of the Lord. And we have to go in the shelter of spiritual guru, follow the discipline, follow the regulative principles of devotional life. Then we can attain the abode of Supreme, right? What happens if suppose we surrender? Then what happens? Please read. Who is there? Who wants to read? Muskan Mataji.
As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Even follow my path in all respect, O son of Parth.
Pritha. Pritha is Kunti's name. Kunti is another name. Queen Kunti's name is Pritha. So son of Pritha means Arjuna. So we, in all respects, we need to have that bhakti bhav, that shraddha needs to be there. If suppose I'm rude to somebody, why will anybody want to listen to me? They will move away from me. That love is something that attracts people. Krishna's love was so much, so pure that people were attracted. You can see in picture number 1. The cow is just lying very closely to Krishna, right? That love for Lord is so much that cows are just what they all want to be near Krishna's feet. And if the way you do, Krishna immediately reciprocates the similar way. And the second, Krishna is loving the Lord. Lord is loving the calf. In third picture, you can see, right? What is happening? What is happening in third picture? No one knows. A gopi is trying to massage Lord's feet. And you can see in the fourth picture, Krishna is massaging is serving the gopis. So he always does anything for his pure devotees. He reciprocates. He reciprocates with his pure devotees, just as devotee wants him. If a devotee wants him to be his master, he reciprocates like a master. Personal friend, sakha, dasyam, madhurya rasa, any rasa that you want, he will be like, he will reciprocate accordingly, right? All these planetary systems, universes, they are all resting on the energies of Krishna. So we are still not able to understand. As a non-devotee, you will never be able to understand. Krishna's statement seems to be like a bluff. But when one is a devotee, will say, oh Lord, wow, it's so powerful. Lord is so powerful, right? When Krishna says, I am God, they say that everyone else can also say the same. But if he is asked to show the universal form, they cannot do. If somebody claims to be a God, they have to show their universal form. That's the difference between pseudo-God and the real God. Krishna's pastimes cannot be imitated. Krishna married 6,000, more than 6,000 wives. He kept them nicely in 6,000 palaces. He actually rescued them from the jail, from somebody had kidnapped, right, the demon. So it is not that Krishna just spoke so many wonderful things. He also acted wonderfully. We should not believe one thing and then say, I do not want to believe the other thing. If belief is there, it should be there. There is a story of Narad Muni, who was once asked by a Brahmana, oh, you are going to meet the Lord. Will you please ask him how I can get salvation, mukti? Narada said, okay, I will go. I'm going to Lord. I will ask. As he was going, he met a cobbler, Mochi, who was sitting and trying to mend the shoes. Cobbler also said the same thing to Narada. You're going to see God, please ask how can I get moksha or salvation. When Narada Muni went to Vaikuntha Loka, he asked Narayana. He said Brahmana and Cobbler were asking like this about salvation. Narayan said, okay, after leaving this body, Cobbler will come to me. And Brahmana will have to stay there for some more time, for some more number of births. I do not know when he is going to come. So Narad Muni was very surprised. He said, I can't understand the mystery of this. Why? He said, okay, you don't know now, but you will see later. When they ask you what I am doing in my Vaikuntha Lok, you just tell them that I am threading the eye of a needle with an elephant. I'm threading the eye of a needle. Needle has a hole, right? I'm threading that eye of the needle with an elephant. So when Narada returned to earth, he approached the Brahmana. Brahmana said, oh, what is Lord doing? Have you seen the Lord? What was he doing? He said he was threading an elephant through the eye of a needle. He said, what nonsense are you saying? I don't believe it. Narada could immediately understand that this man has no faith. He's simply a reader of just scriptures and books. Then he went to Cobbler. Cobbler also asked the same thing. Oh, have you seen the Lord? Tell me, what was he doing? Oh, he was threading an elephant through the eye of a needle, Narada said. Cobbler began to cry. He said, my Lord is so wonderful, he can do anything. So Narada said, do you really believe that Lord can push an elephant through the hole of a needle? Narada asked. Cobbler said, why not? Of course I believe it. Narada Muni said, how is that? How can you believe that? He said, you can see that I'm sitting under this banyan tree, right? And you can see that so many fruits are falling daily. And in each seed, there is a banyan tree like this one. Within that small seed, if you sow this seed, a tree will come out, right? So if within a small seed, there can be a big tree like this, is it difficult to accept that Lord is pushing an elephant through the eye of a needle? That is called faith. It is not a question of blindly believing. There is a reason behind the belief. If Krishna can put such a large tree within so many little seeds, you sow the seed and a big plant comes out. It is so astounding, right? That he's keeping all the planetary system floating in the space through his energy. So although scientists may think that planets are being held in space simply by some nature, behind the nature there is Supreme Lord. Nature is acting under his guidance, right? Lord Krishna states, right? Maya dhakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam hetuna anena kaunteya jagad viparivartate. He is maintaining everything. So this is a short story I wanted to share. Okay, what is the result of properly knowing about Krishna's appearance? One does not take birth again and attains Krishna's abode. One becomes God. One can say interesting stories, attains superhuman powers of Krishna.
A Mataji.
Very nice.
A Mataji.
Yes, yes. Oh, did I move on? Okay. Yeah, I think I did this. Okay. Okay. Pankaj Prabhuji, would you like to read?
Ji Mataji. Men in this world desire success in fruitive activities, and therefore they worship the demigods. Quickly, of course, men get the result from fruitive work in this world.
Yeah, thank you, Hare Krishna. There is a great misconception about Devatas. Devatas are not different forms of God. They are part and parcel of God only. They are completely, but Ritagnyana, the foolish people, they want immediate results. So they do not know that results that they will be obtaining from Devatas are temporary. We will learn more about that in chapter 7. So whatever boons that the demigods or the Devatas give, they are material and they are temporary. They are all after sense enjoyment, right? So that is why they worship Devatas. Can you give any example of that? Who worshipped a Devata and got some great material benefit? Some demon prayed to Brahmadev and Hiranyakashyap. He worshipped Brahma to get the boon. He was selfish, cruel with attitude, right? Ravana also worshipped Lord Shiva, got so much of ahankara. Did they get pure bhakti? No, they just wanted some power, that's it. If they had worshipped Krishna, do you think they would have got the fruit so soon? They want immediate benefits. Bholenath gives immediately. Lord Brahma gave immediately. They want to do just Devata worship so that they do Lakshmi Puja. They will do all the pujas to get immediately. But that's temporary. That's not complete. That complete surrender to God. We want complete surrender to God so that we can go to Golok Dham and need not come into this, Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. So Supreme God is one, Krishna. And these devatas have been delegated with powers to manage whole of this material world. Like if you have a big factory and you are the owner of the factory, you will appoint head of the departments to manage the whole affair. That's why different devatas manage different. And we don't have to worship the devatas for some immediate temporary benefits. If we are worshipping Krishna, then we are actually worshipping all the devatas also, because they are part and parcel of Krishna only. If you know the CEO directly, why go to the head of the department? If you say, oh, why you don't have to take an appointment through secretary, go and meet the CEO. You know the CEO, go directly, open the door, talk to the CEO, right? So it's better to know the CEO rather go through the supervisor, then manager, then head of the department, and then secretary and all that. So that's what is explained over here. Yes, please, Kusumlata Mataji. Hare Krishna. Rupa Mataji.
According to the three modes of material nature and the work ascribed to them, the four divisions of the human society were created by me. And although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable.
Yeah. So this is like what are varnas? Chatur varnyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagashah chatur varnyam. They made four varnas. What are the four varnas? Brahman, priest.
Kshatriya,
Yes.
Vaishya, Shudra.
Yes. Very nice, Mataji. Thank you. Brahman, priest, Kshatriya, soldiers, Vaishyas, the businessmen, and Shudra, the labor class. But if a person is born in Brahman caste but is eating meat and is not following any shastras, not doing anything, does everything wrong, he is not a Brahman. Shudra, if he is doing the work sincerely and is not having cheating propensity, he is a Brahmana. So Lord is the creator of everything. Everything is born out of him. Everything is sustained by him. And everything after annihilation goes into him, rests in him. He is the creator of all the four divisions, beginning with intelligence class of men, technically called Brahmanas. They are supposed to be situated in mode of goodness. Next is Kshatriya, situated in mode of passion. Then mercantile men, Vaishyas, situated mixed mode of passion and ignorance, and then Shudras, laborer class, situated in the mode of ignorance. So he created all this, but Lord Krishna does not belong to any of this division, because he is not a conditioned soul, right? He is Satchit Ananda Vigraha. So that is why Lord Krishna is removing this misconception. He says there is no caste system. All spiritual paths lead to the same destination. Caste system according to the gunas. He says, Chatur Varnyam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha. It is according to your guna and karma. That is very important. So the takeaway from here is, you want to choose a career and life based on guna and karma, not on external factors. Just because I was born in a Brahman family does not mean that I am entitled to be a Brahman. No, if I do not have the qualities of a Brahmana, I am not a Brahmana. Brahmana has to come from your qualities, from your karma. Not just because I was born in this family, so I become a Brahmana, or I was born in a Kshatriya family, so I'm a Kshatriya. No, you need to have. So it is very, very clear about this. So that way you will excel in the field that you choose. If you choose according to your guna and karma. So according to the quality and according to the action, whatever karma that you want to do. So determination of caste by birth is completely disapproved in Bhagavad Gita, by Bhagavad Gita. It is not there. You cannot determine your caste according to the by birth. You don't have the birthright. It is according to the quality you have. The 4 varnas of Supreme Lord mentioned were created based on birth, opulence, quality and activity performed for caste quotas in Indian colleges.
Option C.
C, Mataji.
Option C.
Mataji.
Yes, yes, correct. Quality and activity performed. Very nice. Okay. Who would read now? Rupa Mataji. Hare Krishna. Who wants to read?
There is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fleeting reactions of work.
Yes, thank you. As the king, you can see the king, he is not subject to the straight laws, right? Similarly, laws have been made by the Lord, but he is above that law. For example, judge is sitting on his seat and he is giving his verdict, right? He's giving his judgment, but that judgment doesn't subject to him. It doesn't count on him. He is saying that, okay, he should be hanged to death. Does not mean it is on judge also that judge will be hanged to death. No, he is not affected by the judgment. So it doesn't apply to him. He is giving that verdict to whoever comes over there. Okay, he is guilty of this, 7 years of jail, 10 years of jail, whatever, life imprisonment. But that doesn't apply to him. Same way, Krishna has created, but he remains aloof from this creation. Whereas we living entities, we are entangled in this fruitive results. Because if we do bad karma, we will get the bad life. Lord has nothing to do it. Whatever we do, that according to the karma, we will get the fruitive reaction of the work. Lord has nothing. He's sitting over there. He's just watching us. You do this, you will get this. You do this, you do. Law of nature is working. Just because there is a small child and child is putting the finger in the fire, does not mean that law of nature says, oh, small baby, poor thing, innocent, it doesn't know, let me not burn. No, it's the law of nature. You put it in fire, it will burn. Whether it's a small baby, innocent baby, big babies, adult, whoever it is, it's the nature of the fire. It's law of nature. You put it in fire, it will burn. You do bad things, bad reaction will happen. That's it. But Lord is sitting like a judge. He's sitting behind. He's whatever he will give you that punishment. That's it. Right? He is in complete full 6 opulences. He has no attraction for this so-called heavenly, heavenly happiness, earthly happiness. He doesn't need earth or heaven happiness. He is beyond all this. Right? So even the devatas are his administrators. So we are all the devatas, the lower animals, the human beings, we are all subject to actions and reactions of past good, bad activities. So what does Krishna do? He will give us facility. So he will give us, he is not responsible for our past, present activities. Something goes wrong and say, what God, what have you done? He has not done anything. We have to realize it is our karma only. That the reaction we are seeing that. And we think only God is responsible for our actions. No, God is not responsible for our actions. We ourselves are responsible for our actions. We have to get up and start looking and introspect ourselves, right? So one who knows the this supreme truth, this jnana yoga, that is why we are doing jnana yoga. The moment we get this knowledge, we become little liberated and then we fix and engage everything towards Krishna consciousness, right? So in the picture you can see, first picture, what is happening in the first picture? Anybody who can guess that? Who is he?
Sudama and Krishna.
Sudama, very good. Second picture?
Krishna and Bhishma Pitama.
Yes. Third picture?
Krishna and Gwalas.
Gwalas, very nice. Fourth picture?
Krishna and Arjun.
Yes, Krishna becomes Arjuna's charioteer. See, he can do anything for his bhaktas, right? For his devotees. So, it's very, very nice to see that he is removing all the misconceptions. So here, there are different flights going to different destinations. We have to decide. There is one destination going towards the heavenly planets, but after our pious merits are over, we have to come down. So different flights go to different destination. We have to decide where we want to go and then buy the ticket appropriately. Whether we want to go to Brahman realization, Paramatma realization, or Bhagavan, Golok Dham. We decide, we buy the ticket, and then we can go there. Please read. Muskan Mataji.
The intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is.
So what is action? It is karma. We do our duty. You can see in the picture. He's making a pot. Potter is making a pot wheel, right? Then strictly no parking. It's said strictly no parking, but you go and park. It's a forbidden action. You're not supposed to do it. That's vikarma, opposite of karma. And then third one is akarma. Akarma means completely working with devotion. You don't want any results or anything. You are working with devotion. It means without reaction to work. You just do it at the feet of Lord. That's it. Like Narad Muni, right? So Narad Muni was biggest devotee of Vishnu and akarmi. So karma means just do your work. Vikarma means forbidden action. You are not supposed to park the car. You are parking the car over there. So that is how. And there are many, many great devotees, akarmis like Raja Rantidev. He was the closest devotee of Lord Vishnu. And of course, Narada was always there. And Raja Rantidev, what happened? He lived thousands of years ago. This story was told by Shukadev Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit in, you can find this in Srimad Bhagavatam. King Rantidev, he's understood that Supreme Lord is present in heart of every living entity. That's what his understanding was, right? And he respected everyone. So whenever somebody in need would come, he would not even think a second before giving it away, whether it was food or anything. One time, he was just getting ready to eat food after having fasted for 48 days. As soon as he sat down to eat, a Brahmana came. So naturally, Brahmana has to be respected. He was given food and then Brahmana left. Rantidev again sat down to eat whatever was left. As soon as he wanted to eat, a Shudra, a laborer came. Now, in Vedic society, Brahmana is given importance. Yes, he is honored. But Shudra doesn't, right? But Raja Rantidev, he did not see a Shudra lesser just because Shudra's social position. He gave him equal respect and then shared his food with him. Then as soon as Shudra left, another guest arrived, a man surrounded with a lot of dogs. So man called out, "Oh king, I'm in the company of dogs and very, very hungry. Can you please share something with me?" Lord Rantidev, of course, he gave him something to eat. Now all that was left of his meal was hardly anything, right? Whatever was left, he gave it away. And then he didn't know what to do. He was going to drink water. Now, just as he was about to drink water, a Chandala, an outcast, he appeared, tired, thirsty. He said, "Please give me some water." King did not hesitate. And at the same time, he was very calm. He just gave whatever water he said. He prayed to Lord. I do not pray to Lord for this, moksha or any mystic yoga or anything. I just want to take, I don't want any moksha. You can give me repeated birth and death, but I should keep serving these people. I cannot see their suffering. I should be here to keep helping them all the time so that they will be free from suffering. That's real compassion, right? So as King Rantidev, as it turned out, he was actually being tested by Devatas. Who were testing him? Brahmadev and Shiva, Lord Shiva. They came disguised as guests. They wanted to interrupt the king's meal. They wanted to check how Rantidev is so, because when they went to Vishnu Lord Vishnu told them, "Rantidev is my real devotee." So they wanted to check, really? How come? And they came to see. He did not take advantage when they said, "Okay, you can ask for a boon," but still he did not take any advantage. He did not request for any boons, nothing. He was that, exalted. He didn't really care for anything they could offer. So Srimad Bhagavatam, it goes on to explain that everyone who follows the principles of King Rantidev, they can become a pure devotee of the Lord. We can also be free from this material suffering. Imagine King Rantidev now in this modern society. To see such compassion is very rare. We cannot. We are so used to seeing politicians. They come, they give us lot of compassionate statements. We will do this, we will do that, only till you elect them. That's it. Even the charitable organizations, we are so suspicious. So many have been found to be corrupt. But Lord Rantidev, he was a king. He could have enjoyed all the opulences of his position, but he was very, very selfless. He was a akarmi. That's very important. He was akarmi. So let's just quickly revise this. Karma means doing good actions, enjoy, and rebirth. Nothing more. Akarma means inaction. You give your everything to Lord. Nothing is yours. Only joy, spiritual world. Vikarma means completely sinful action. Whatever is forbidden you want to do, you will suffer and then you will take rebirth. So Krishna is not responsible for our situation. You can see from karma, karma and vikarma, right? For example, if rain is falling on the rock also, it is falling in the gutter also, it is falling on a fertile land also. When it falls on the rock, it is falling on the rock. When it goes into the gutter, the water is smelling, but does not mean the rain, has done something to it. And it falls on the fertile land, rice is grown. So it depends on what kind of thing you are having. Nothing to do with the Lord. Whatever you do, that kind of thing will come out. As you sow, so shall you reap. Yes, please. Kusumlata Mataji, can you read? Hare Krishna. Muskan Mataji, you can read.
Just try to while approaching a spiritual master, submissively and render service unto him. A self-realized can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth.
Yeah. So we have to learn from Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru. They lead us to the right path. Such spiritual master, we should surrender, completely surrender to them. We should completely, you can see in the picture, right? Sandipani Muni, Krishna and Balram are sitting learning from him. We should surrender and then serve them completely and ask them submissively. We should ask and take knowledge from them. That is the thing of a guru. Then we will learn the knowledge. The teacher is there to train. Caliber will develop only mundane knowledge, whereas character is developed by performing sacrifices, controlling our senses, surrendering to authority intellectually, with lot of humility. That's how the character is developed. We develop our children's character like this, right? Mentally, intellectually, by action also, by having humility and service attitude. And what is the topmost sacrifice? We should chant, we should read all the scriptures, and we should try and control our senses. So we can see this topmost sacrifice. We are going from one cage to another cage. We think we are getting a lot of freedom. But like, for example, we used to have a small phone. From there, we have got smartphone. So we are going from bigger to bigger to bigger, but we are still getting entangled. So to get out of this, what we have to do? We have to chant and we have to read Bhagavad Gita and we have to move on so that we are, otherwise we will again remain within this 8,400,000 species. We may be born as any beasts or anything and lower species. We have to just get away from sense gratification. So that is why scriptures are giving 4 principles: no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit relationship, and no intoxication. Okay. So therefore, the doubts which have arisen in your heart out of ignorance should be slashed by the weapon of knowledge, says Krishna. So armed with yoga, O Bharata, stand up and fight. So what does he say? Tasmad ajnana sambhutam hrit samjnana sinatmanaha chitvainam samchayam yogam atishtotishtha Bharata. He says, come on. Arjuna was declining to fight. Now Krishna is advising, pick up your weapons for, fighting. Tasmad ajnana sambhutam, your ajnana, remove that, born out of in ignorance. You are not fighting for your family, you are fighting on my account. So therefore you have nothing to doubt. No samshaya means no doubt. Get up and fight, he says. Now he is a spiritual master of Arjuna, right? So he is imparting his disciple Arjuna the knowledge, jnana yoga. On, he is giving him wisdom to practice karma yoga. So he is now advising Arjuna, utilize both your wisdom and your faith and slash these doubts. Whatever doubts you have in your mind, just remove them. And then he's asking him to do action. He's asking him to do his duty. He's asking him to do karma yoga. So these two he is asking. Dual instructions: refrain from action and then engage in action. Again, he's still confused. Arjuna is not very, very happy about it. So that is what he will reveal in the next chapter. Who is qualified for knowledge? Ignorant, faithless, submissive, or doubting soul?
Submissive.
Doubt, no, sorry, it is C, submissive, not D. My thing is wrong. It's not a doubting soul, it's submissive soul. Sorry, that was a wrong thing. Okay, we are done with chapter 4. Eternal education, we learned that who can acquire this education? A devotee, a friend, and we should have a relevant inquiry we should do and follow the instruction. From whom we should follow the instruction? From a bona fide parampara in disciplic succession. What is it all about? It is all about when did Lord appear, why does he appear, and what happens by gaining that knowledge. Krishna removes all the misconceptions, right? And then he removing reactions also, like of karma, vikarma, and akarma. Karma is doing the duty, vikarma is forbidden action, and akarma is inaction. Sacrifices is caliber, we have get mundane knowledge. Character, we build a lot of mental, intellectual, and knowledge, spiritual knowledge. Then a teacher to train in sacrifice. Topmost sacrifice is what? Chanting, reading Bhagavad Gita, reading scriptures, and controlling the sense. So with this we come to end. Pancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patita nam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare